So here is my brandy new roaster. I extended the time on my stove and the timer because my pop out isn't popped all the way yet, as you could see. And I have the gizzards in there just for extra flavor. I basted it actually a while ago. This was really nice, and I am so loving the ease of it, you know, not having to worry about pans collapsing, all that hunky-dory stuff. And I'm sorry if you hear bing bing. I'm still getting messages through from friends. Now this is my sausage stuffing. I made it yesterday. How I make it is really easy. I did do a video on it last year, where I actually showed how you could use croutons in place of dried bread cubes. And, you know, I mean, it is dry bread, seasoned, basically. It's all bread. So I skinned, I want to say a little over a pound of sweet Italian sausage. I got it from Aldi's, and I just crumbled it up in the frying pan last night, browned it, drained the grease. I made one bag of stuffing, actually, because I think 2 would have been way too much. So I used chicken bouillon to make my chicken broth. So all I did was follow the directions with that. 1 cup of water and 1 bouillon cube. So I used actually 2 cups of water with this. I used a couple of teaspoons of butter and, you know, a little bit of salt. And I also chopped up my parsley, and I let the parsley actually simmer in the butter and chicken broth, probably for like a good 5-10 minutes, real low. And then I just added my dry breadcrumbs. I added my Italian seasonings, mixed everything up good, and then added my sausage and mixed it up. And that's how I make it. It's pretty easy. Some folks actually use Jimmy Dean breakfast sausage. I've done it that way too. There's so many different ways to do it, but honestly, give it a whirl, and I think you will like it. I'm getting ready to mash my potatoes. I have a 5-pound bag actually of potatoes ready to whip up here. Got my milk, got to grab my butter out of the fridge. So I made some pickled eggs. They're a holiday staple. And I have some deviled eggs in here, you know, with the mustard and a little bit of paprika on. There's my pumpkin pie I made from scratch last night. Now this is my chocolate chip peanut pie. Now I normally make chocolate chip pecan pie, but my friend Sandy is allergic to pecan. So I had some peanuts and I substituted them instead. She's not allergic to them, just pecans and walnuts. So there's my, I like them with a lot of paprika on. So if you're thinking, oh my God, paprika overload. Yeah, but you know by now we like things to have a little bit of heat, a little bit of kick. So yeah. And I'm actually gonna be, that's the instruction booklet, actually going to be steaming my asparagus and my green beans and wax beans. I'm gonna set up my steamer, steam them, and then I'm gonna wrap them around, make little bundles with a strip of microwave bacon. I'm probably going to do, I want to say, maybe like 10 small bundles, use them all up. I think that's a, cool way of having a vegetable. Something different than, you know, corn or carrots or yams. I thought that that would be something a little bit different. Now, of course, our Rugrats, they are going to be getting some turkey in lieu of wet food today. So they're going to be happy about that. I am surprised they are not out here actually sniffing, because Oreo has a real good nose. Well, so does Feisty. You know, we got the pies for dessert. I was going to make the York peppermint patty. I could not get any of that magic shell, so I was able to grab some hot fudge topping. So either way, I think when we redo them again, they're going to come really good. I'm also going to do a video about this. I bought this in Walmart. It's called Carnation Famous Fudge. I mean, I'm going to do 1 or 2 fudge recipes this year because I didn't do them last year. I did I did do fudge. I did the fudge wreath. And if I remember correctly, I did truffles. But I'm going to actually do several different kinds of fudge. And the reason being, as I said, I'm going to be doing videos pretty much where you can make gifts, you know, to give to people. I think right now that is probably the nicest and least expensive way to, you know, show that you care for someone. And who doesn't like something home-baked or, you know, something homemade? I think that is the nicest thing. So, yeah, I will be doing that. Ronnie's still sleeping, so I'm trying to talk a little bit lower. I got some dishes to do. Alex and Sandy are coming over. I said, well, you know, maybe you guys can keep an eye on the green beans and that while they're steaming while I work on the potatoes here. But yeah, we are doing it very, very small this year. I mean, in a way, I'm kind of used to it because of the family drama back at Easter. And then last year, you know, nobody, like from my son's side, my oldest son, nobody came over. I understand because it's not good for my mom to travel and things. So I guess in a way it's a little easier for us to deal with. I know for a lot of people it's not, you know. Ah, yes, guys. So we pretty much ate our fill, and now I'm going to have to start cleaning up, putting leftovers away, and I will finish carving the turkey. Sandy did a really good job of carving it for me while I was trying to make my gravy. Yeah, it didn't turn out quite as good as I expected it to. It was a little on the thin side. I actually had more gravy than I planned on having, which was surprising. And I didn't put in quite enough flour, and I was just getting frustrated, standing at the stove, fooling around with gravy. I said, you know what, to heck with this. I'm hungry, and I just want to eat. I don't care if my gravy is a little on the thin side. I'm hungry. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I just did. But all in all, I mean, the turkey came amazing in my roaster. Absolutely. I'm not going to sweat it about the gravy. It's like too much craziness going on here right now. I'm actually going to finish this video up talking about it. It's upsetting, to be sure, all the way around. Just something that we may have to deal with very, very soon, and past experience has, in a similar situation, has not worked out good for us. So I wanted to end this video with telling you guys about some interesting news that we found out in a rather crappy way that we found out about it. The building is up sale. And kind of figured that out when my landlord just randomly showed up at my door with a real estate agent. Doesn't take rocket science to figure that one out. But it was put up for sale this past Monday. Now, prior to this, my neighbor, and I'm not disclosing any names, anything like that, my neighbor, since she had moved in upstairs, I think I had mentioned that we had originally lived upstairs like 3 years ago. That was our first apartment, and then we came down here. Well, we had no problems when we lived upstairs. We didn't have any problems really living down here either until just the past few weeks, which tie into like what is going on upstairs. And we figured out that there's a bug infestation on this side of the building, which, if not taken care of very soon, is going to spread to the other side of the building. And I'm not talking about cockroaches. So it has caused us to throw furniture out that we cannot afford to do, because like where we're going to get the money to replace it, I absolutely have no idea. I burned out my steam cleaner. It just was about 6 months old, and it just gave up the ghost. So a lot of vacuuming and having to wash laundry and store things in totes. And at first, we were kind of told like that we had to take care of this problem, to which I thought, well, we didn't cause this problem. So let me backtrack a little bit. There was other people lived in this apartment after us and before my neighbor moved in. There was 2 guys lived there briefly for maybe 4 months. And then there was 2 guys, the one roommate moved out and the other guy moved his girlfriend in. She had a bunch of family come up like every other weekend. At least 10, 12 people would stay for the weekend. They would always be doing laundry down in the basement. They'd start like 8 o'clock in the morning, still be doing laundry 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It was crazy. And they would get drunk, and these kids would be running around till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, making all kind of racket, running around the yards unsupervised, causing trouble for the neighbors with the open yards over here, like going this way. So it was pretty frustrating. Never thought that maybe, like if they came from a big city, say like New York or something, that they might have brought something with them. But there was a lot of traffic in now that apartment, put it that way. And so what happened is, not too long after my neighbor moved in, I remember she was saying she was itching a lot and everything. She attributed it to allergies with like body wash or laundry detergent, things like that. And she had this weird smell coming through her outlets, which I couldn't figure out what the hell it was. I thought maybe a dead bird in the wall or something, maybe a dead mouse. I really didn't know what to think, because we didn't deal with that when we lived up there. So, talking to another neighbor this weekend, find out that a ceiling had collapsed in his closet. He fixed it. And she has a big hole in her ceiling in her closet. And that molding is pulling away from her ceiling in the parlor. Basically, they're thinking that water might be building up because the roof is a flat roof, which is rather odd considering this is a state that gets snow and ice, and you don't see a lot of flat roofs.
No, if anything, actually, the buildings around us are all slanted roofed.
Yeah, so that was weird. Like, I don't know about that. But anywho, so, like, it never works out good for us when a new owner takes over a building. When we were in Broad Street, that happened to us. And the owner from New York was okay. But then after he had the property for like about 6 months, he became a real jackass. And when he was doing work in the basement, whatever he did in the basement, we started seeing roaches, like huge roaches. And I even recorded a video, which I had actually posted on my Facebook years ago, of a cockroach about this big came out from behind my thermostat, ran down my wall, disappeared, I couldn't find it, and then like 2 hours later came back up the same way and went back in behind my thermostat. It was really creepy and really disgusting because it was so big. So, like, he was just getting fed up of me bugging him about these bugs, and I wound up basically complaining to Code about these roaches running around all over. So they did make him exterminate for, the roaches, but by then I was already looking for another place, and he went to file the, papers to evict me. I didn't owe him any money, but just because I was causing him, I guess, a lot of grief. And I had said, you don't need to bother. I said, because I'm moving in X number of days. And so I never even got the eviction papers because I said, I'm already moving. I give you notice first. Our paperwork crossed in the mail. And so I was like, I'm already moving. Bye. The place that we rented in Freeland, it was for sale, that building. And the two loonies that bought it thought it would be okay at first, but they turned out to be dipshits, making us pay for our heat and hot water even though it wasn't turned over into our name, and come to find out from talking to a real estate lawyer that that was actually illegal and shady the way they were doing it. So when we stopped doing it, and I just flat out refused and said, no, I'm still covered by my lease, even if you don't want to honor it, and you're supposed to be a paralegal, the law says you have to. And that's when we came back to Hazleton. So now, it's like the track record with this just doesn't work out good. Even years ago when we lived on 5th and James Street, that house was sold, and I love that house. That house was sold to people in New York who made it that all of a sudden we were supposed to pay for our own heat, but again, nobody had their own separate oil tank or anything like that, and I was just supposed to pay for heat for both sides of the house, but not get reimbursed. No. So I got the hell out of that situation too. So it just never works out for us. We don't have this good experience when a new person takes over a property that we are currently living at. So really, I'm not the least bit optimistic about this at all because of how it's worked out for us in the past. What we are concerned about is this damn bug problem, because it's a common bug. Every state has dealt with these crappy things. They're an annoyance. They could also be potentially dangerous. There's rare people who have an anaphylactic shock from them. They're allergic actually to their bites. And they're just disgusting. And it's hard to go to sleep at night when you're wondering if anything is crawling in your carpet or crawling up on your bed, crawling on your pillows. And it's really, really freaky. Maybe about 15 years ago, if not longer, I dealt with these same disgusting bugs in a different home here in town. And I wound up losing over $1,000 worth of beautiful furniture I had because I was just terrified to take anything with me. And code enforcement was fighting with that landlord, and he just flat out refused to do anything about it and expected me to. And code kept telling me I didn't have to, this and that. Then I have the neighbors starting nonsense with me because they had to throw their furniture out from errands, and oh my god, it was just such a big friggin' nightmare. So yeah, this is another problem. Poor Ronnie gets bit up the worst. And I have pictures and videos. I woke up one morning and one of these little ones was crawling on my shirt. And I literally came out here, got coffee, took my meds, went to the bathroom, yada yada. Didn't even know this little friggin' bug was crawling around on my shirt. And when I seen it, I recorded a video of it. So it's really, really gross. We're getting a double whammy here. And it's not a cool feeling because one, we don't have all kind of money to move. Two, wouldn't even know where to begin to look, because there's some landlords out there that because of the pandemic just don't show their properties or are not renting, you know. It's not like we have family we can go stay with. And what makes it even like more bizarre is I didn't think I was going to have to ever deal with these disgusting bugs again. And now we are. And it's like, okay, so, okay, just saying hypothetically we would find a new place. Well, we're going to be sleeping on the floor, and we're going to be sitting on a kitchen chair because nobody's going to have the money to buy diddly. And it's really not wise to buy secondhand furniture anymore, but where are you going to get the money to buy new furniture, you know? So it's like, yeah, it's a hell of a mess. I'm not stressing about it, but it is annoying us, and it's really a problem, and we don't really know from here on in what's going to go on. So the best that we could actually, you know, do is just take it one day at a time and see what happens. A part of me is almost even hesitant on putting my Christmas tree up because of the bug problem, because I really don't know if it would be safe for me to do so. Knowing now what's going on here, I would hate to have presents get overrun with bugs, and I really would not want my tree, my white tree, to be, you know, decorated but with bugs, you know. So I don't know. I may still put it up. I don't know. I'm undecided about that yet. And I'm just hoping an exterminator does come here soon. And, you know, we can figure out, well, when is this going to end? What's going to go on? And then another scary thought, too, is so a new person takes a property over. What if they jack the rent up that you can't afford it? Or switch things around. Then all of a sudden they jack the rent up and you got to pay for your heat or something. I mean, it's like now is not the time to be getting walloped with these kind of surprises. You know, there's like a pandemic going on, and it's just like money is, you know, tight and just can't be doing all this nonsense. So I don't know, guys. You know, I won't play it by ear. Did have a nice dinner. Ronnie actually had to lay down for a bit. He woke up with a really bad migraine and went back to sleep for a bit after he took some medicine to get rid of it. So he didn't actually get to eat with us. He's eating dinner now. So I hope everyone had an enjoyable as it could be during a pandemic.
Okay, yeah.
But I still hope everyone had some sort of an enjoyable Thanksgiving. And, you know, hang in there, guys. That's all any of us can do, right? Right. Well, I hope you like this video. Please give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit my subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you all on my next one.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
And don't worry, guys. I think you're going to get a kick out of Oreo and Feisty with the flippity fish. That's coming up in the next day or so. Take care. Bye.
Bye.